What up, dude?
How you doing, sir?
Yep. I didn't hear that. Talk again.
Hello, hello.
There you go. That came through that time. I don't
All
know
right,
what happened.
perfect, man. How you doing, John?
But amazing, bro.
Good, good, man.
Always good.
Well, honestly, obviously, first, thank you for meeting with me today. I know you're a very busy guy, so very much appreciated. So, as Perry's kind of told you, my goal is to basically do what you did, just within our office. My goal is to have hopefully a team of about 50, at least semi-consistent writers
Yep.
under me virtually by open enrollment of this year. So that's my main goal. Um,
When's that? End of year?
November.
November. Cool.
By November. I think it's certainly reasonable with how quickly I'm recruiting at the moment. But I'm not connecting right now. And I've narrowed it down to a couple reasons that I think it might be. You're probably going to have some better insight as to why that might be. But I'm just going to run down my list of questions. Hopefully, we'll find something.
When you said you're not good at, would you say I'm not connecting right now? What did that mean?
Connecting as in like I'm recruiting people, they're starting, they're just not getting any traction off the get, right? With new agents that are in person, I'm usually great at getting them first business within the first week or so, 2 weeks, and they're usually at least game planned and motivated and moving semi self-sufficient by week 2 or 3. I'm not getting that so far. Now, of course, I've only been going at it for about 4 weeks now, so
How many you
I'm
get?
still
How
getting
many you
better.
got started so far?
I'm averaging one a week right now.
Oh my.
I'm hiring 2 to 3.
You have to be
One is
hey, you
showing.
have to be 100%. You have to bat 1,000 to get one started
Okay.
or keep
That's fair.
one going. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you got to be perfect if you're only getting one a week.
Okay. So that was actually my first question. Is there a an upper limit to how much I need to be recruiting at this beginning stage, as far as, kind of a quality versus quantity thing? Should I bring on 10 agents a week if I can and just see which one sticks? Or should I bring on, keep this one a week going and try to meticulously, incubate each one of them a little bit more one
Yeah,
on one?
there's not necessarily a perfect answer, but one
Okay.
a week ain't working.
Clearly.
Fair. So
Yeah.
it's like, well, that ain't the fucking answer. We know
Sure.
that. And I'm a big odds guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you can get. Are you selling still too?
Yes.
How? What's that schedule look like?
So basically how my training is set up is I am taking full appointments. I'm getting 60, I'm paying for 60 leads a week, working through those 60 as well as my follow-up. And then in between that, it's when I'm doing my more lecture type training. So, going over how to do a screen share, call flows, things like that. And then doing role playing in between when we can as well.
Got it. Interesting. So you're selling every day?
Yeah.
Is it just Monday through
I'm
Friday? Or?
I'm working on sales every day. I
Yeah.
haven't
No, I
submitted
get.
everything
Yeah,
every day,
that's
but yeah,
that's what I meant. Attempting to
yeah,
sell. Yeah, I
yeah.
follow. What time do you do that?
I get here and I start doing my own stuff at about 7:45, 8 o'clock. I get them on the Zoom calls at 9 o'clock,
The okay,
nine
got it.
o'clock Central. Yeah,
And are they just watching you go live, or are you just
for the
teaching?
most part, yeah. So I'm
Cool.
screen sharing. They're watching me and watching my screen share. They're watching me go through my day to day.
Okay.
That's what I've seen the most successful FTAs are
Yeah.
doing is literally just immerse them in your day to day and give them every moment that you're not using selling.
Yeah. Cool. So, and how many are getting on your daily now?
Right now, I've got 4 virtual agents. All 4 of them are getting on.
Okay. Cool. And are they selling yet?
No,
Um,
none of them have really done shit. Um, I think it's a lack of. I think it's what you were talking about when you were here. It's just a lack of culture. When we're in here, you've got
I don't
30
buy that.
people that are. You don't think so?
Not at all. Why?
Okay.
How long have those four been on a Zoom with you?
One of them's been on. One of them was one of my previous agents. She's actually writing. She was an in-person agent, so I don't have to worry about her as much. But she's still
Yeah.
getting on there and
And the
helping out
others.
where she can and doing her own shit. Another one's been here for 3 weeks. He hadn't done shit. Got another one that's been here for two
And
weeks.
you
He
still
isn't
let him
doing
on the
shit.
Zoom?
So if they're not producing or they're not clearly going out and actually putting an effort, just don't let them on the fucking Zoom.
No, my question is, what's the point? Like, are they just watching you creepily after 3 straight weeks? Like, I don't understand.
Essentially, yeah. It
So when do you
seems like
tell
it.
them they have to start working? When
Day
you
one.
hire them? So
Day one.
why?
Yeah.
So
So
then
as soon as I get on, I'm basically telling them, hey, you need to watch me work. We're gonna go over some things, but in your off time or in between or whatever calls, you need to be prospecting. This is how I expect you to be prospecting. This is who you need to be reaching out to. Things
you're
like that.
leaving it very open ended.
Yes.
Okay. So your expectations. could probably be better.
Certainly. So a little bit more structure is what you're saying.
A lot more structure, not a little
Okay.
bit more structure. You need complete structure.
Okay.
Does that make
What does
sense?
that structure?
Like,
What does that structure look like for you?
Imagine if when you were in school, you look a lot younger than me.
25.
Okay. Imagine a few years ago when you were in school, they were like, do math when you get around to it. You know,
Sure.
science, you know, just whenever you feel like doing science, just go for it.
Okay.
You know, if you want to show up, show up. If you want to watch me teach. If you don't, all good too.
Okay.
It's fucking really weird.
It is.
Nah, they're like, nah, 8 to 8:10, you got homeroom. 8:15 to 8:43, you got science. 8:47 to 9:02, you got fucking math.
Got
You know
it.
what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
on Thursday, we have a test. And tonight
Okay.
you have to do homework. And then you have to study this chapter. And like, you know exactly what to do.
Okay.
So if you don't provide structure, bro, they ain't gonna do
Yeah.
shit. Does
Okay.
that make sense? So
Yeah.
if it's me, I ain't mad watching for a minute.
Sure.
But like, how long do you need to watch me before you start? Like, it's time to you gotta make
Yeah.
money.
So I guess the
So
little structure that we do have is essentially I'm for the first week I want them actually paying attention to me. I'm going over training with them. I'm focusing on them.
that's so long. Why
That's
so
too long.
long? Why? I'm just saying, what on earth are they gonna learn after for a week straight?
I mean, that's mostly when I'm going over call flow structure,
Yeah, but they
pitches,
should.
things like that.
Why do they not see that before they get their license or get started during
Um,
contracting?
yeah, so they're not getting contracted yet. So they don't get contracted until they bring us two deals to the table. That's our big thing. That's what we're working on. And that's actually something I wanted to
What do
discuss
they
with
have
you.
that they can watch in advance before they start with you?
So we have a TikTok account that has all of our training. We've been in the process of making, I'm sure Perry's told you this,
Yep, I've seen
making
it. Yeah.
a virtual training course that we're trying to get off the ground.
So here's the thing,
But
dude.
once again, I feel like there's no structure with that
Here's
TikTok as
my
well.
preference. I want people to
Okay.
work because
Yeah.
if you don't work, you can't fix anything anyway. I mean, here's what
Yeah.
I was. Again, imagine with your structure, I go watch Tiger Woods golf 9 hours a day for 3 straight weeks.
Mhm.
And then I go out and I swing a club in 3 weeks from now. Am I going to be any good at golf?
Not at all.
I'm going to suck fucking ass because I've not
Yeah.
done anything related to
Yeah.
golf.
Okay.
You're teaching people to watch videos. Like, okay.
Okay.
I want to teach people to do their job.
Okay.
Makes sense. So if they're not willing to get on a phone call, like on the phone, you can fix stuff.
Sure.
When they're dialing live with you, you can fix shit.
Okay.
So part of my recruiting process is going to be explaining that they're going to watch videos for pick a time. You know what I mean? You know, how long does it take you to go through the TikTok and go, here's what we say on the phone. Here's what I need you to do. I feel like I could do that in a few hours.
Yeah.
Like max.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, if I'm recruiting you today and you say you're on and I explain everything, and I'll go like, my expectation is you bring 2 deals to the table. Is there any reason you can't start dialing clients tomorrow morning?
Okay.
You'll probably say, no, I'm fine.
Not at all. Yeah.
Cool. So we're gonna be on Zoom at 8 a.m. You're gonna be dialing the phone at 8 a.m. Fair?
Okay.
Okay. Today, to make sure you're ready for tomorrow, because I know you're gonna be nervous and worried about what to say. I need you to go to our TikTok and I need you to watch these X number of videos.
Okay.
And then I need you to shoot me a text when you're done watching those videos, and I'll call you. We'll do like a 10-minute recap to see if you have any questions.
Okay.
Tomorrow's game day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting them on the phone.
Okay.
That's the weed out process is the work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the faster I can get them to work, and I want them to overcome their fears. Like the person who's been sitting there for 3 weeks, they're no less scared today than they were 3 weeks ago.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck it, let's get it out of the way.
Okay.
And if they're not willing to do that, personally, John Wetmore doesn't want to work with them.
I'm getting to that point with some of my people as well. So I get that.
Yeah. So I just, again, imagine, again, another dumb example. I was an accountant before. I'm like, all right, day one accounting. Well, I don't want to do any work. I just want to sit over here and watch.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what? Like, now they got to teach me some things, sure.
Yeah.
But like, dude, the business is running. So I hire staff here. Like, you're jumping on a moving train. You're going to learn as you go. You know, that's real world stuff. So for me, the test is, are they willing to get on the phone? Because that's where you lose them all. Or Zoom, in your case, Zoom. I say phone because those phones. But getting them to interact with clients is where you lose people.
Okay. And that's a preferable thing. Okay, gotcha.
That's where majority of them go away.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if that's where a majority go away, I want that to happen as fast as possible. So I'm going to create structure and expectations up front to lay out how this is going to go.
Okay.
And on the backside of that, I'm telling them I need them to be coachable and I need them to do shit they say they're going to do. So when
Okay.
I say, can you start dialing tomorrow? You say yes. Well, now I need you to do that because you said you would.
Yeah.
And I need you to be coachable. So if you're like, I'm not ready for 3 weeks, I'm like, dude, if we waited 3 weeks and that worked best, we'd always do that.
Of
What
course.
works best is you getting on with clients now so I can coach you on how to go through the process. And
Okay.
remember, I need you to be coachable. This is going to be uncomfortable, but
Mm.
I promise you this is the best way. And if
Okay.
they fit it, I'm out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So one, that's the steps. Two, you definitely need to just talk to more people. You
Okay.
know, but I would structure your day in a way where you figure out how to do that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Here's the times I dial. Here's the times I do some recruiting calls. Maybe I do recruiting if I pick up 2 apps, or you got to create some threshold for yourself on
Okay.
when you know what I mean? Like for me, my goal was to, again, I ran in-home, like kitchen table type stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, I made phone calls on Mondays and I was in the field, say Tuesday, Wednesday. I would do recruiting as soon as I was done dialing to book appointments. I
Mm.
didn't love booking appointments
Sure.
and I really wanted to build and recruit. So what kept me dialing at a fast pace and dialing early was I wanted to get to the recruiting. So I
That's how I
started
am.
dialing at
Yeah.
7:30 a.m. So I could, the faster I book up Tuesday, Wednesday, the faster I can be done with that shit and do what I really want to do.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of held me accountable to know if I didn't do what I had to do on the phones, I couldn't do the piece of building my business.
Okay. Now back to recruiting. Perry seems to be of the persuasion that it's bring on fucking any, because we don't contract anybody until they've brought 2 deals to the table. Just bring on literally anybody that is willing to start. Would you agree with that, or would you be a little bit more selective on your
I
recruiting?
agree with that fully. I just wouldn't end the conversation. I wouldn't have ended your sentence at willing to start. I would say
Okay.
willing to start with my expectations and agreement on that they're going to follow my process.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So
So make sure
not
you're
like
framing it
I'm
before
willing.
it's even started. Okay.
Yeah, like we got to be aligned in how it's going to go.
Yeah.
If we're aligned in how it's going to go, I agree with him 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? But if they're like,
Yes.
yeah, I want to start, but I ain't doing that shit, I'm
Sure.
out.
Get fucked. Okay, got it. Now, whenever you, so I'm a big believer in either you coach up or you coach out. I'm not sure if I've honed in on what makes a successful virtual agent versus an in-person agent. I'm pretty keen at catching that early with my in-person people, but
Yeah.
I don't know what makes a successful self-driven, or how to identify a successful self-driven virtual agent.
I mean, if you know how to identify a self-driven person, it's the
Mhm.
same because
Okay.
it's 2 questions and they're just going to answer you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, do a lot of them give you the right answers? Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill it. I'm going to be your best
Of
guy.
course. Yeah.
Right. So how do we measure that reality? What's the only way we can measure that reality?
With results. Actually
I wouldn't
getting them
say
on the
that.
phone.
There we go.
Yeah,
Action.
getting them on the phone. Yeah.
That's actions.
Yeah.
Right. So meaning you have to be really good at giving people things to do and then returning to you when they've done them.
Okay.
That's the only way to measure action. I don't care about the result, dude. You suck ass and you're on the phone all day. I'm your guy because I can
Okay.
fix the result.
Yeah.
I can't fix the action.
Okay.
So every step of the process is for me, hey, that's why you have to be really structured in your steps. And you're gonna have to build this over time. I've just done it so many times. It's kind of second nature at this point. But it's always like, hey, do this and let me know. That's why I
Okay.
said, like, watch the TikTok videos, text me when you're done.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Hey, no reason you can't dial tomorrow, right? Yep. Hey, do me a favor, shoot me a text like 10 minutes before, let me know you're good to go. I do
Okay.
weird shit like that just to measure action. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Hey, dude, if you say you're going to be there at 7:30 and you're not, I'm going to take that as you quit. Is that fair? Bro, they show
Okay.
up at 7:35. I won't let them in.
Mhm.
There's a measurement test. Unless they like, yo, remember, coachable, do what you say you're going to do or communicate. So
Mhm.
shoot me a text like, hey, dropping my kid off to school, fucking carpool line was crazy late. I'm sorry, I'm going to be on 5 minutes late. I'm in. I'm your guy.
Yeah.
If you just ditch 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, and you're not there, I'm out, dude.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to create that structure and boundaries at the same time.
Okay.
And then you can measure action, right? So if
Okay.
you're not providing actionable requests, you got no action to measure.
So what does accountability look like with the actions that you requested people? Obviously, hey, go dial 200 numbers. How do you measure that, or
I
how do you
say,
hold them
cool.
accountable to that?
Yeah, when you get your 200 dials, we have a tracker, like a little sheet.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I say, hey, when you're done with your 200, shoot me a text with a picture of your sheet, and then we'll schedule time at noon, and we'll take 5 or 10 minutes and go over your objections.
Okay.
Now, if at noon you have 42 dials, don't call me
Yeah.
because I can't help you.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, keep in mind they agreed to the number.
Yeah.
If I go, hey, can you dial from 8 to noon? And I can't because I got this going on. All right, when can you dial today? Does that
Mhm.
make sense? Well, I can do 8 to 10, and then I can do 2 to 4. Cool.
Sure.
Let's get 4. By 4, can you do this many dials? Yep. All right, cool. Shoot me a text at 4, screenshot it, and then we'll get on the phone and we'll go over it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's a lot of question asking, just like I did to you at the beginning, so I can understand. I want clarity. I don't want to just bulldoze people. I don't want
Yeah.
yeses. You know what I mean? I want you to agree to shit and you to, because again, my measurement is coachable, do what you say you're going to do.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
everything I give is just second nature, is like, hey, watch this, call me back. Hey, do this, text me. Hey, do this, shoot me a call. Hey, do this. I always put the burden of communication on the agent.
Okay.
To let them know if they don't communicate, to me, that means you quit. That's what you're
Yeah.
telling me if you text me.
Okay.
Does that make sense? It's
Absolutely.
fucking super easy to do because then
Yes.
I don't have to spend the mental energy or the time following up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
10-4. Well, man, I feel like I don't know what questions to ask at this point. I feel like I need to get more fucking structure. I need to make sure that I'm framing these expectations long before they actually get started on their first Zoom call.
Yeah.
And I mean, basically just reserve my attention for those that are deserving of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Which will
is there
allow you
anything?
to talk to a lot more people, which is the other answer you need also. You've got to
Yes,
get more people started. You know what I mean?
yes,
So
that's
for
the
me,
other
what I
thing.
always
Ramp up
did was I
recruiting.
went every day that I'm making phone calls, or in your case, doing Zooms. How many new people do I have getting on, I say the phones, for the first time ever? That
Okay.
was always my measurement.
Okay.
I want new people on the phones for the first time ever every day. Does that make sense? So like Wednesday, how many people do you have getting on the phone for the first time ever tomorrow?
Okay. Are you asking me that question, or are you
Yes.
saying ask myself that
No,
question?
I'm asking you.
Fucking no one right now.
Okay. So then are
Yeah.
we got Thursday? How many do you have getting on the phones for the first time ever?
As of right now, nobody.
0. So that's your goal every day
Got it.
for
Okay.
me, right? If
Sure.
you want to do what I'm doing, which was the call,
Yes. That's exactly
every
what I want.
time, who's getting on the phones for the first time ever? That's
Okay.
number one. Then from there, now say Wednesday, I got someone on the phone for the first time ever. Thursday, they're on the phone again, but I got someone new.
Okay.
Friday, they're both on the phone. I got someone new. And maybe this guy quits. Who gives a
Yeah.
shit? On
Yeah.
Monday, I got those two and someone new. Maybe I got
Yeah.
3 new ones. Maybe I got
Sure.
5 new ones. You know what I mean? It's like that was always the goal. And
Okay.
then from there, dude, long term, this is not for the conversation today. Now the question is, how many of those people can you get duplicating what we just talked about? So if
Yes,
you're
and
getting
that's
1 or 2 on every day, and I'm getting 1 or 2 on every day, you know what I'm saying?
I've got these people that are going to be replicating what I'm doing right now.
What's
So
up? I love it.
perfect.
Does that make
So
sense? That's where
yes.
it scales legit. So
Yes.
this thing I just taught that I talked, you know how many times I've had this conversation?
I imagine a dozen.
Thousands of times.
Thousands. Okay, gotcha.
Oh my God. Yes.
Sure.
This is all I do.
Okay.
The concept is the same. You know what I mean? And no different than I'm telling you to create the structure and have those conversations when you're recruiting and onboarding people, right? This is the next level of conversation that you have. And now I go like, all right, cool. I just had it at scale with 6 people. Do you know what that does? Now, it ain't my group and I don't get any volume out of it, but it feels cool to help people
Yeah,
grow. So I'm
absolutely.
like, that method, kind of that like, they call it like a butterfly effect, right?
Sure.
Or there's like one with wave, there's a wave one, I forget how they call it. But it's like the compounding effect of doing that at levels and me having this conversation thousands of times. Those thousands of people, a fair amount of them are having the conversation with their crew now.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it just multiplies an obnoxious number of times over. And it's
Okay.
simple shit. There's nothing complicated about that, it's the piece I love. It's easy, it's repeatable, and you can do it. You can start doing that right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like your next call, just practice it. Your next agent, practice it. The ones that are getting on, that's been on for 3 weeks, dude, I'd have a conversation. Be like, hey, dude, so I fucked up. I'm sorry. You've been here 3 weeks and I haven't got you on the phone yet. My bad. Hey, can you start dialing tomorrow?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just reset. You know what I mean? Like own it. It is what it is, and reset.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then go like, if they're give them this and let you know, give them this and let you know. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
hey, they want to go over objections. Cool. We can do objections. We do them at 1 and 5 p.m. Pick a time, make something up. Who cares?
Sure.
If you don't go, like when I have people start dialing for the first time ever, like what do y'all do one call close or you try to book appointments?
50-50. If we're cold calling or it's a form lead, we're mostly trying to set the appointment.
So the
But
goal, right? The goal of phone calls is typically in an agent's mind to book appointments.
Yeah.
Okay. What I tell them the goal is to just get people to pick up the phone.
Okay.
That's your goal.
Okay.
The goal is not to book appointments, and the goal is not to sell insurance today. I know you want that. I got it. But today, I need you to go get me like 30 or 40 objections so I can fix your stuff so you can sell policies. If you can't go get me 30 or 40 objections, I have nothing to work on with you. Is that fair? And it just changes their mindset into like they get 3 phone calls they get hung up on. If their
So
goal
essentially what you're telling me to create is a treasure hunt, right? Go do this. All right, come back to me. Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Here's your next task. Okay, got it.
100%. That's it, dude.
All right. Understood.
I called it playing fetch.
Yeah, that explains it perfectly. Okay.
All day long. And I can do that with a zillion people. Because after a while, dude, the
it
dog
allows
gets
me to
tired,
actually
you
go
don't
do
come
my
back to me.
fucking job rather
like,
than
sweet, sit in
constantly.
the yard in your pile of shit. I don't care.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. 10-4. Chad, do you have something for him?
I was curious as to where you're finding when you want to load, front load a lot of people so that you can find the good ones. Where are you finding all those people to front load?
So I don't have that problem right now. I've got I'm for some reason Indeed let me slip through. Apparently they give every other insurance agent a hassle. I have
tough to get in Indeed.
I have 200 people a week.
Hey, I'll give you a good piece of advice. Find an alternative now because eventually there's a really high likelihood you get kicked out one day.
10-4. Okay.
I've been in Indeed 3 times for sometimes up to a year.
Yeah.
One day, dude, I go log in, I'm out.
Okay.
So
what's your alternative?
Don't be a one trick pony.
Sure.
So couple things. The easy ones are y'all talk to a lot of people, right? As a group.
Yes.
So do y'all ask all the people you're talking to if they happen to know anybody else looking to make extra money?
Just yourself, family, small business, out now.
Super easy.
We asked for referrals. I don't think we ever asked the hiring.
Think how many people are in the room right now?
There's 5 of us.
All right. How many people a week do you think the 5 of you talk to cumulatively? Roughly. First number that comes to mind.
Probably about 500.
Okay. So imagine if 500 times a week you go, hey, Joe, so over here at the Healthy Insurance Dude, we're growing like crazy. We're hiring. We're looking for people. Do you happen to know anybody else looking to make some extra money on the side doing what I just did for you?
Okay.
Just imagine if you asked 500 times. Do you not think you could get
20 of them? Yeah.
Correct. You know what I mean? Like
20 of them. Sure.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's one, right? Now, say you get someone and they're like, yes, I'm in, or can I do it? Or my cousin or whoever. Well, I immediately ask that person too. Hey, who else do you know?
So same thing we do for referral sales.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Right. So that's easy. 2, I would talk about what I would do. I would hit social media for sure. Right. If y'all aren't all on social, you should be. And hell, you got fucking about the king of social in your office. So y'all have no excuse to not be on it too. But at the end of the day, you can make it really simple. And what a lot of people struggle with is, what do I say on social? Think of all the questions y'all get. I'll make it super easy. And you can use this for the rest of time. Because if you're not worried about it, your agents will be.
Okay.
The hesitation will be, I don't know what to say. All right.
Sure.
Of these 500 people, think of the questions they ask y'all. Any questions they ask you throughout the week. Each one of you just makes a video on that question and you answer it on social. Hey, Mary asked me how to fucking change a doctor, whatever the weird shit they ask you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You educate people based on, and the clients you have are giving you the cheat code to what people want to know. So it's very easy to make social media on that, right? And the reason I do that is everyone I'm talking to about recruiting, for the most part, they look me up. And if they look me up and they see me specializing in this, that the social media now becomes like a commercial for me. It becomes like a track record for like, I know my shit and you want to work here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I can do things like that. And then there's something to be said about cold outreach, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
Cold outreach for recruiting.
yeah. I was just talking to a guy, the dude that was on right when you got on. He issued like 400 grand this year on life premium with no leads. He just cold door knocks all day long.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, imagine how powerful a message on social media would be if you target people either through their like title, life insurance specialist, health insurance specialist, whatever the hell titles y'all would come up with.
Yeah.
I mean, more protection guy, final expense guy, whatever the titles are.
Sure.
And then you target the companies that you know. I mean, I don't know y'all's companies, but my world, there's, you know what I mean? Like certain companies that do what we do or do who would be my targeting, or I could target solar people, or I could target like pest control people or alarm sales people, right? And go, hey, see you're in the business. How's it going for you? I help train people how to make 400 grand a year with no lead costs. If you're interested in a conversation, let me know.
Okay.
Imagine you did 500 of those a week. You'd get some damn conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm a big fan of doing those three things because they're all free and most people won't do them because they take time.
Yeah.
So I like to give those as two reasons. One, because it works, and two, as a challenge, because if you're talking to me about recruiting and you won't do those three things, you sure as shit ain't going to spend money on Indeed long term.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And that's the easy route. That's for me, step two with recruiting. If you got the money, do it.
Yeah.
But most agents don't. So I give them the free things first. And then you can put ad money anywhere. Facebook,
Of course.
you know, in Facebook, there's again, Indeed, there's ZipRecruiter, there's Career Builder, there's all that shit. And then you can do paid ads anywhere. The ads are the easy part. It's just it's going to pay for it.
Okay.
So I like the free ones because again, y'all could all do those starting today and start having a crazy amount of conversations. And then you plug them into that structure we talked about. You'll start getting people started every day, dude.
Okay.
Then
All right, awesome, man.
coaching them, that's a whole different animal we'll deal with another day.
Sure. Now, are there any questions that I didn't ask that I should have?
That's a good question. I stole that from, you know, what's funny is Perry recommended the first time
sales manager.
and that was
I
one of
use
his,
that question all the fucking time.
that was one of his questions. No, I think for right now you're good. The only thing I probably would ask is, you know, what I told the last dude, and I tend to do this with people, is like, why don't we put those things in place and then touch base in 30 days and go over the data?
I'd love to if you can make time for me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then challenge the 5 people behind you to start doing some of this shit too, and we'll all good. And then they can show their faces next month.
10-4. Sounds good, John. Well, I appreciate your time, man. You have a wonderful day, man.
Later, guys.
All right, bye.